Being the fastest quarterback you've never seen. I'll be right back. There's no quicker way to get into DFS. Play Super Draft today and see for yourself.
We're behind. They're all fired up. What we got to do? First place, our defense has got to go out there and take the ball. Then when we get the ball, we got to have 11 people that's going to do their job and try to score every time you get the football. If we do that, we'll be all right. That will be all right.
It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. And look, I got audio issues, I'm sorry. I'm so underprepared for this show. It's not even funny. Don't have a lot of time today, but we do have former wide receiver from Alabama, Matt Caddell, joining us today. And before we get started, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to friends of the CTS Network. Kangaroo Black, you see him on Tuesday night. He's part of the Four Horsemen, rolling with the tie every Tuesday, but every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes when he just feels like getting on, Kangaroo Black, go to his page. It's a great. I mean, anybody that will tell Tim Brando to kiss his ass, you got to respect the man, and I respect this man. So go to his page and check him out. Also, a guy who's been helping the CTS lately, Around the Table Sports with Jonathan Lewis. Go check him out, and of course, my man Ty Hayes. You know what? Let's do this again. Around the Table Sports with Ty Hayes. Go check him out. And College Football with Jonathan Lewis, the guy who helps CTS out behind the scenes. Go check him out. I'm so underprepared for this crap. But anyway, go check him out. 3 great YouTube channels. All very informative. All right. So today's show is going to be me. I want to go ahead and tell you, this is going to be a very debated show. If you're watching right now, you're probably going to hate me, love me, or think I'm just insane. You're going to be like, Joey, you doing something with that Yoda. I'm not. But if you go back in time to 3rd and 3, and some of the stuff I predicted games, either the games came very, very close, or the teams I picked won. Now, this is how it all came about. You know, I had to book guests. So I didn't look up Josh Pate. He's on my Facebook page. And I looked up Josh Pate for 24/7. He's been on the CTS Sports Room before. And I asked him, can he come on the show Thursday night? Because this is a big week. Alabama and this is Alabama. Utah State. I believe they're playing Utah State. I don't know. I'm worried about next Saturday. However, Josh Pate, I asked him, and because of the demands of 24/7 Sports, he couldn't do it. He apologized, and he gave me a link to a show that I already seen. He said, maybe this will help you out. And I said, sure. But I said, I thank you. You know, I was being polite. I mean, I've already seen it. I watched 24/7 Sports. However, I rewatched it and I got an idea. It's some things I disagree with, and some things and usually I'm right. So usually when I tell you something, you need to call the bookie, pick up the phone, start dialing, and say, "Hey, bookie, I'm ready to go ahead and bet. I'm put up my house. Joey has said it, and I'm gonna go ahead and bet it." That's right. So what's going on? Barry Pritchard from Oxford, Alabama, my favorite town in Alabama. I love Oxford, Alabama. If you ever get a chance to go there, go to Oxford, but don't go up the bridge to Anniston because you will get like robbed or become a meth addict. You may smoke meth. I'm just telling you. Let's see what's going on with Barry. I'm going to the home opener against Utah Saturday night under the lights. Roll Tide Road. Barry, where's my ticket? You couldn't hook me up. Let's see. Roll Tide, everyone. William Brown's hating the intro. Kara Murray, part of the intro is a joke. Seriously, hey, I'm trying to make some money. And anybody else here? I don't think nobody else is here. Roll Tide Barry. Okay, well, hey, it's gonna be a small show. It's cool. It's just be us 4 or 5. I don't know. I'm very unprepared, but like I said, hopefully I can get to all these notes. But I don't think I will because I'm gonna talk to Matt Caddell and I'm gonna listen to Matt Caddell. But it should be a pretty decent show. Now, on to the home opener, Utah State. Now that Barry told me it was Utah State. Everybody has been telling me that Utah State is going to be this dynamite team and Alabama should be worried about Utah State. I think you smoking. I'm sorry. I think you're drinking Nick Saban's Kool-Aid. You know how Nick Saban, he doesn't underestimate opponents. Every opponent that Nick Saban play, he could be playing Russell County High School in Russell County, Alabama, and he's gonna say that these young 15-year-olds are probably gonna give it to us. We're not taking them for granted. But let's face the facts. Barry says 48-13. You know what? That's pretty close because even though people may disagree with this, Nick Saban really doesn't like to run up the score. It just what happens is his team is so talented, they run up the score. Look at the past. It's been many times where he should have beat a team like 80-0, and it would end up being like 38-3. Why? Because he just runs the ball to end. He may get his second string to go out there and start doing little plays to practice a little bit, and that's okay. It doesn't really matter. You're gonna win. But everybody's talking about Utah State is gonna, give a test to Alabama. I don't think Alabama is gonna have a test this year. This is a guaranteed national championship, and you're gonna hear about it in my picks at the end of the show. This is a guaranteed national championship. I know the schedule looks hard. You got Texas A&M. You got import their schedule fast. The only easy schedule that I saw was Georgia's. I think the only test they got really is Oregon. But you're going to be surprised at what I got to say about Georgia. So let's look at it real fast. Alabama football schedule. Okay, here we go. So they got Utah State win, Texas win, Louisiana Monroe win. I don't care what anybody says. It's going to be a win. Vanderbilt win. Arkansas win. Texas A&M. Okay, that's where we start getting into the nitty-gritty. Okay, that's going to be the test right there, Texas A&M. But we don't know how good Texas A&M is. Everybody knows Texas A&M has a history of choking during the season. Look at last season. Look at the Johnny Manziel years. You could be good 1 minute and then, truthfully, what makes them good? Seriously. It wasn't like they did something amazing last season. They beat Alabama. Oh, okay. You're not the first team to ever beat Alabama. Alabama has lost games. Believe it or not, they have lost games before. By the way, Pepsi's not paying for this. I'm just thirsty. So it's not like you did something impressive. I mean, okay, you beat Alabama. You're the first assistant coach under Nick Saban to beat Alabama. Wow. Give yourself a cookie. If you hear the babies in the background, my bathroom's right there. They're getting a bath. So let's move on. Tennessee. Now, we're going to talk about Tennessee at the end of the show. And some of y'all going to be surprised what I got to say. Mississippi State win. LSU win. Ole Miss. Y'all going to be surprised by what I got to say about Ole Miss. Stick around. Austin, Perry, I don't know. Austin, you're going to get your ass whooped. And, of course, Auburn win. Predicting 5-7 for Auburn this year. I mean, Auburn goes above 500. I'll be shocked. Let's see what we got. ATM plays at Bryant Denny this year too. Oh, that 12th man gonna be short this year. You got to watch out for those sleepers. And yes, and you're gonna hear about these sleepers at the end of the show. You're gonna be very surprised what I gotta say. This is the show that's, if the regular people are watching, you're gonna be mad about. You're gonna be very upset with me. You're gonna be like, Joey, you're smoking that Yoda, or you're snorting the Yoda. I'm telling you, do not underestimate my picks. You're gonna see that this is gonna get crazy. These picks are gonna be legit, but you're not gonna believe me. Okay? But just wait and see. I've done my research. I've done my homework. And ladies and gentlemen, when I do my homework and I get down into the nitty gritty, that's when the money starts coming in. That's when you need to pick up the phone and start down your bookie and say, hey, I'm ready to bet. I'm ready to bet my 7-year-old daughter. I'm ready to go ahead. And then your wife's going to come over there. Oh, my God, we got another 7-year-old daughter. Yay. You W the daughters. Look at you. You're going to be like, yeah, that's what I do. I do that. Yeah. I bring home the little girls. Yeah. Well, that came out wrong. But listen, the bottom line is this. You're going to make some serious money with me. So it's guaranteed. It's free. Y'all better be watching out for them tight. You better be talking about LSU, man. Ain't LSU or Auburn. Ain't nobody scared. 5-7, Chris. 5-7. Yeah, Joester, yes. 5-7. Auburn. They're not getting over 500 this year, my man. Auburn is going to suck this year. And it's not, I'm not saying, look, these picks, and you're going to be surprised with my pick to win the SEC West. I mean, East. You're going to be surprised. You're going to be very surprised who I picked to win SEC West. I mean, East. I keep saying West. SEC East. You're going to be very surprised. But ladies and gentlemen, he's the man that won the 2007 Arkansas game. He's the man that some consider one of the greatest wide receivers of all time at Alabama. And he happens to be a guy who comes on and helps the CTS out all the time. If I ask him to come on the show, he'll come on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Texas is going to win it. Oh, okay. Somebody's smoking that Yoda for real. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Caddell. Matt, how you doing today? And slow motion. Matt, Can you see me? Matt, is it me or Matt? Okay. I should frame that. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what's going on. Matt, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Hello?
Hey, Matt Caddell, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? You doing okay? Cat got your tongue? This
Hello?
is wild. Hey, can you hear me? Check your settings. We're live, Matt. Can you hear me now? All right. Matt, we can hear you, but can you hear us? You can't hear me, can you? Okay. Well, anyway, so yeah, you're gonna be. Let's see if he's back. Can you hear me now? I'm going to call you.
Sure.
Hey, check your settings on your phone. It's a little nut on where it says on room stream. Just check your settings.
What do I check on settings?
Okay. When you get on settings, go to audio,
Uh-huh.
and then it says audio input communications, and then audio output. Just try to fix the one that works for your phone.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, Matt takes care of that.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear? There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you all. Let me check something.
Check your output. Viewership is just going down. All right. So while he's figuring that out, y'all gonna be very surprised with these picks. And I want to. Hey, this is live. Sometimes stuff like this happens. I apologize, but it's always good to see Matt Caddell. I still think about the Arkansas game. We actually did a watch along. Let's try this again. Matt, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Hey, Matt.
Yep.
All right, everybody, give me a thumbs up if you can hear him.
I can't hear. I can only.
No. You're on. We're going to do the interview like this.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I know you can hear me because I got you on the telephone.
Oh, okay.
Can everybody hear Matt Caddell? Thumbs up. All right. Let's just do it like this. So how you been, man?
I'm doing well, man. How's everything with you?
Oh man, I'm good. The first question I got to ask you is what do you see Alabama doing this year besides winning the national championship?
For me, I think we're gonna be playing dominant defense. I think you see a much improved team from a leadership standpoint. I think we're gonna get better effort. And I just think we're gonna play better complementary ball. You got so much returning, whether it's coaches, players, scheme. Guys kind of have a year under their belt, so I think it's going to be great. And I think the most important thing, I think we learned so many lessons for the last 15 minutes of the national championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we learned that, A, we need to be able to run the ball, so they had to fix the offensive line. Got Wolf in there. And B, I think we needed to be about 4 or 5 deep at running back. I think that's a lesson we learned. We have to be able to run the ball, and I think that's just going to help, A, keep us healthy, B, have more control of the game, and just really, get back to kind of the old style of Bama football with the spread and up tempo, but being able to control the game from the line of scrimmage, whether it's defensive line or the offensive line, I think that's what's the most important thing. I think we'll get back to, and we'll be dominant as the years pass.
Now, let me ask you something. Now, you played under Nick Saban. What do you think his mentality? I mean, I think every football you as a football player know that once you step in that locker room and you step on that football field, it's even given Saturday. I mean, anybody can win a game. But what is it about Nick Saban, praising these teams like Utah State, knowing that he's going to go out there and crush them?
Well, this is part of Coach Saban because, we learned the hard way. My senior year, we lost to Louisiana Monroe. A lot of times Saban prepares even harder. It's easy to prepare for the SEC games and things like that. But I think, what Coach Saban always tries to instill with his team and program and everybody in the organization is that you have to respect each opponent and, A, you got to respect each opponent. B, you're basically at Alabama. You're everybody's Super Bowl. Everybody wants to bring their A game. And so you have to prepare for that. And you have to have the maturity, the mental fortitude, I guess, to, be mature and have that, no matter who's in front of us, it's another opportunity to get better and to dominate and improve throughout the season. So, I just think that's why he's trying to go so hard on, maybe some of the lesser opponents that people might view, because I think it becomes challenging for, young men to think, oh, we're Alabama, we're just going to roll over them. But no, that's not the mindset to have in life, or especially in college football, because, hey, everybody's going to bring their A game versus Alabama.
Oh, I mean, that's a very interesting point. I mean, of course, everybody on Utah State thinks they got a chance to win. I mean, it's just, to me personally, Nick Saban said last year that was a rebuilding year. Mm-hmm. I don't really believe that. I think they had a great team, and they went to the national championship. Rebuilding years don't go to the national championship.
Yeah.
I don't know what rebuilding year ever in the history of college football ever went to a national championship. Hey, you think he's just using that as an excuse?
Well, no, I think from everybody else in college football, they're like, man, I mean, it's a rebuilding year. But Alabama's different. Alabama's on another level. We hold ourselves to a level of excellence where it's either you won the championship or not, or why didn't you? And we had a lot of things to iron out. Whether it's players not giving effort, I addressed the offensive line issues. You had new coaches. We lost a ton of guys, and we were still there. But I think he was mainly just comparing it to the level that Alabama's on. Alabama's on a different level. We hold ourselves to a higher standard. And so to the rest of college football, I'm proud of everybody. I was like, oh, that's so arrogant or whatnot. But I think from him, having to deal with young players, having to get them to mature through the season. I mean, hey, we were in the championship, but, there's a lot we had to rebuild. We had to rebuild leadership. We had to rebuild effort. But luckily, to our standard and Coach Saban's standard, I think it was true to his fact, true to his statement that it was a rebuilding year because we had, so much to, kind of rebuild, whether it's we lost, half our team to the draft or whatever. But, I like it. To me, that just shows you how Alabama's just on another atmosphere, another galaxy compared to the rest of college football.
I agree. But it's still, when you use the word rebuilding, I think of, the 2007 team, the team you played on, as the rebuilding year. I don't think of a Heisman Trophy going to the national championship game, winning the SEC championship game. You win the SEC championship game, you go to the national championship game, and you got a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, and they consider that a rebuilding year. I get what you're saying. It's like, okay, LSU is going to have a rebuilding year this year. You know what I mean? You got a new coach. And I don't mean that to disrespect the players. I don't mean that to disrespect your team either. It's just that when you bring in a new coach, guess what? You got to rebuild the staff. You got to rebuild the team. Everything. You got a new system. That's to me, that's the definition of a rebuilding year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you had when you played with Mike Shula, and then all of a sudden Nick Saban comes in. It's a lot of stuff. I bet you saw a lot of rebuilding.
Yeah. Like I said, I just think Alabama's just held to a higher standard when it comes to college football. So I think Coach Saban just holds us and our program to that standard. So to everybody else, I think it it might come off as a little arrogant, but I think in terms of what he has to deal with, what he had to deal with, I can see where he's coming from. And I can see both sides. So there's no right or wrong answer. It's just different perspectives. So I totally agree what you're saying, a true rebuilding year. But at the same time, I think, Alabama, like I said, is held to a higher standard, even though we're so talented and we have the greatest coach, we're able to get to the national championship. It's still a lot to, rebuild and learn. And, I don't know. I don't know if he would have said it if we won the Natty, but we'll never know.
No, I think we're going to win the national championship this year. It's guaranteed. Go ahead and call the bookie. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Go ahead and go to your Mercedes dealership right now and go ahead and say, hey, look, I want to put this on hold till January 2023. Get it fully loaded because you're going to be a rich man.
I think those guys are hungry, man. It's going to be interesting, man. I think we're going to be really, really really dialed in. Saban smiling, wearing shades, and I think he knows what he has. I think he just knows. I think with Saban, what's important with him is leadership and like the little things. So if this team is doing the little things right and have great leadership and have the great mindset, I think that's why you see some of the, the more laughable, excited Coach Saban, because he has those things on his team. So it's going to be exciting.
Now, before I let you go, Matt, first thing I want to say, every time I need you and I say, Matt Caddell, can you do my show? I don't think you said no one time because, you was busy, and I understand. But majority of the time, every time I ask you to come on the show, is always a guaranteed yes. I always see you as part of the CTS Sports Room. I mean, you're no better than. I mean, I'm no better than you. You're practically family to us. We love you. We love you every time we see the Arkansas game. Little known fact, everyone. Me and Matt Caddell sat down for 2 hours and watched the Arkansas Alabama game in the last 2 minutes.
2 minutes is the most important part.
Yeah, the most important part. And we still got to reschedule that. We got to reschedule that. But
we're gonna finish it.
Yeah, we're gonna finish it. It may take a while because we got new football to watch, but I love that game. However, what I was saying is you're always there for us, and we appreciate every time you come on, man. You always help us out. You're like Al Borges. Every time we ask Al Borges come on, he comes on. You're the same way, man. But I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
At the end of the show today, I got my pick, a bold prediction, and a surprise pick. Now, your bold pick prediction doesn't have to be what you think a team, doesn't have to be a pick team. It could be what you think a team would do or whatever. You understand? So you got your pick, you got your bold prediction, and your surprise pick. So for your surprise pick for the SEC East, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with. I know it pains me to say that that's an Alabama guy, but I'm gonna go with Tennessee. Okay. That's gonna be my surprise pick. I just think the way they run their offense, I just think the SEC East is gonna come down to that Tennessee Georgia game. I had to put Tennessee versus Kentucky. I think Tennessee wins that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it comes down to the Tennessee Georgia game, and Heupel's doing a great job. They got Hooker coming back. Their offense gave us fits last year. I think he's going to have more guys up under his belt, and it's going to be interesting to see how they play. But I got Tennessee probably my surprise pick coming out the East.
All right. So, hold on one second. I lost something. There we go. All right. What's your bold prediction? Something that you think is going to happen during the season in the East.
In the East, a sleeper team.
Yeah, that had to be a sleeper team. Your sleeper team was your surprise pick.
Yeah, this is my bold prediction. It comes to my sleeper team. Watch out for South Carolina. I think with Rattler at quarterback, they could be the East. It's a lot. It's a lot of improvement. I mean, we're gonna find out what Porter is, first year, but I think Shane Beamer's second year in South Carolina, he has a quarterback in Rattler. The guy knows how to win. They could ruffle some feathers in the East, so I think South Carolina is kind of my bold prediction of having some success in the SEC East this year.
All right. And so what's your pick?
For the SEC East?
Yes.
I'm still sticking with Tennessee.
Okay. Now let's go to the West. All right. Surprise pick in the West.
The surprise pick or surprise team?
Surprise pick. Surprise team.
Surprise team, actually. I think this team's not getting enough love or credit. I know everybody wants to talk Alabama, Texas A&M, but I think Ole Miss is right there. They're going to be, I think they'll be competitive, especially after they play Alabama. It's like Lane knows how to dissect every other team's defense and get the ball rolling. And they beat A&M last year. I mean, it just kept beating good teams. So I think Ole Miss is a team that nobody's talking about in the West feel like everybody's talking about Arkansas and Texas A&M, mainly Texas A&M, but I really think Ole Miss is going to be a formidable opponent.
And
surprise.
Last two. What's your bro prediction for the SEC West?
Bold prediction for the SEC West. Jamar Gibbs probably Heisman.
That's not really a bold. I probably I kind of picked that as a like a final. I already called that.
Okay. That's all that. I'll take that all back. Bold prediction. Let's see. What was in the West? I think the games in the West will be. Oh man, you kind of got me stumped.
AJ Jones says, "Hey, Matt Caddell."
Oh, so what's up? Bold prediction out the West. Oh man, you kind of stumped me with this one.
Well, we'll stick with Gibbs winning the Heisman, and your team pick for the West. Don't if you say Auburn, I'm hanging up on you.
Alabama.
Roll Tide. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but this is the one and only. He's CTS family. We love this guy. He's always there to help us out. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Matt Caddell. Matt, we'll talk to you next time.
All right. Anytime. Hey, Roll Tide. Let's start off 1-0 and keep it rolling, Bama.
1-0.
Right.
We're gonna start off in 12-0.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. All right, catch you later, man.
All right, dude.
All right.
Appreciate it. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Matt Caddell. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Now, that's what I'm going to be doing. We don't got a lot of time. I'm running out of time here. I'm sorry. It's got to be a short show. I took a lot of notes. I'm not going to go over these notes. But, however, me and Matt had a lot of agreement. I mean, we didn't talk prior to this, obviously, because we wouldn't have no technical difficulties. But he saw a lot of stuff that I saw. So let's get to it. My surprise pick. And people are going to think I'm crazy. But I'm going with this team. Surprise pick. And it's a surprise. A lot of people may not think it's a surprise. However, the history of this program, it should be a surprise. Kentucky. Yes, I said it. Kentucky. I'm just waiting for they were like, Kentucky? Yes, Kentucky. I believe Lewis will have, let's see what I said. I believe Will Lewis will. I can't read my own damn writing. Ain't that some shit? I would believe Will Lewis will upset, have a good year with new Georgia State receiver. Oh, I believe Will Lewis will have a good year with new wide receivers. This is why I shouldn't take my own notes. They will win all the home games, even including Georgia at home. So basically, the quarterback's going to be good this year. And they're going to upset Georgia at home. That's my surprise pick. Bold prediction. Georgia would not win the East. Now, everybody's going to go crazy over that. Everybody's going to like, oh, what? He just, what the? Nick Saban, if he was in the house right now, he'd be, oh, you're just hating on Georgia. I'm not hating on Georgia. I'm not hating on Georgia. I love Georgia. Do not get me wrong. I love Georgia. Listen, everyone sees Georgia's schedule. It looks pretty easy besides number 11 Oregon. But what if I tell you I'm predicting 3 upsets in the SEC? Florida, Tennessee, and Kentucky. You heard it here first. You can go ahead. It's bold, but I believe this. Florida, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Go ahead and call your bookie. Say, hey, I'm trying to buy that new Beamer. Put the house on the line. I'm telling you, you're gonna make some money this year. Watching me equals money. And y'all was like, this book. Go look me up. Look up my picks. Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky will beat Georgia this year. Now, Kentucky, don't get me wrong. I got a question mark because that's why it's a surprise pick. Because Kentucky is Kentucky. But I think Georgia is they're not going to win the East East this year. AJ Jones, I know it's a little question mark. I know you're thinking about it. You're like, Florida? Really? Kentucky? But my pick to win the East, I realize that Georgia has. If you think about Georgia's schedule all down the line, it looks pretty easy. I mean, Oregon, that's going to be a tough game. But when they play Mississippi State, is that really going to be a freaking easy game? Yes. That's why I'm predicting Florida, Tennessee, and Kentucky to beat Georgia. I don't even know Mississippi State's playing Georgia. I just threw that team out there. Florida, Tennessee, and Kentucky will beat Georgia. You heard it here first. And my pick, I agree with Matt Caddell to win the East, is our good friends up north, Tennessee. Second year for the coach, with a lot of great talent. That was 7 regular seasons wins last year. I think Smalls is going to have an outstanding running back career year. A lot of major news sources have reported that he is healthy and stronger than ever after taking a ass whooping last season. Only question I have is the defense. But I picked Tennessee to win the East. Georgia is not losing that many games, maybe one of them. Nick Saban Jr., I have already said it and I predicted it. Georgia will lose between Florida, Tennessee, and Kentucky. I know it's hard to believe. The national champions, but look what happened. Look at 2010. Alabama were national champions, went undefeated, and then they ended up having a so-so career a year with Julio Jones and Mark Ingram. I'm telling you right now. I picked Tennessee 3 weeks ago. Roll Tide. AJ Jones. That just makes you smarter than me because I just now seen it. Maybe you should be on here, not me. But I just now seen it. Tennessee wins the East. So, surprise pick Kentucky. Bold prediction, Georgia will not win the East. Will be upset by Florida, Tennessee, and Kentucky. And team pick Tennessee to win the East. That's my pick. Can't go more into it because we only got a little bit more time. Let's go to the West. It's very simple. I didn't write a lot of notes. Surprise pick, Ole Miss. Look out for these games, Kentucky and Ole Miss. Look out for Ole Miss and LSU. Look out for Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Arkansas, and of course the rivalry, Mississippi State. I can't really predict a winner. I'm taking I can't. It's too hard. I contradict myself. But look out for these games. Ole Miss may come through, and they possibly could be number second to the. No, Arkansas is not. Arkansas is not going to do shit this year. It's Arkansas. Don't even go there, Nick Saban Jr. All right, bold prediction. It's not really a bold prediction. Some people agree with this, but because of the history of this team and because of the coach, I consider it bold. LSU will go under 500 this year. My prediction: 5-7. Losing to Florida State, Tennessee, Florida, Ole Miss, Alabama, Arkansas, and Texas A&M ATM. That's my pick. That's right there. Call your bookie. I'm taking Florida State. I'm taking Tennessee. I'm taking Florida. I'm taking Ole Miss. I'm taking Alabama. I'm taking Arkansas. I'm taking Texas A&M. It's not that I got anything against LSU. This is not Auburn. I'm not saying this stuff because I'm being mean. I like Georgia. I like LSU. I had no problem with these fan bases. However, I'm just stating the facts. They ain't losing to the Razorbacks. I didn't say they were. I said look out for these games. Well, I did say they were losing to Arkansas, didn't I? Oh well. Yeah, they're losing to Arkansas. Sorry, AJ. Touchdown Tennessee Hooker again. As much as I loathe them. So there you go. Bold. Okay, and my team pick is I'm gonna pick Auburn. All right, listen. Alabama's gonna guarantee national championship this year. Games to look out for, of course. Texas, Texas ATM, and of course the Iron Bowl. So it's going to be a guaranteed national championship this year. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a good time tonight. I know we had some technical difficulties. However, once again, if you haven't subscribed to the CTS Sports Room, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and pick up the phone, start dialing, call your baby's mama and say, hey, baby mama, I need you to go ahead and subscribe to the CTS Sports Room. These guys are serious. We got the Four Horsemen. We got Kangaroo Black. We had Matt Caddell, former wide receiver from Alabama. I'm on the phone right now with Ace Antonio Carter. Get him back on the show. Roman Harper hasn't reached back out to me. I gotta call him. We got some big guests lined up. So get on the phone, start dialing, and say, hey, and after you see these picks come true, you be like, damn, that Joey knows what the hell he's talking about. I need to go listen to him because he knows. Last year, people laughed at me. And I told them, I said, this is what's going to happen. Guess what? It happened. You know why? You got to have the knowledge. You can look up all the stats and look up all the news reports, but you have to look at the players and you got to look at the games and see the individual skills of each player. And then you can, plus you got to also look at injury reports and what players are getting suspended here and there. So a lot of stuff you got to look at. It's not just statistics. The numbers don't lie, but the numbers it's not everything. These predictions right here, go back after December, go back to this show. Need I say more? And we got some stuff in the chat room. Let's see. Good night. AJ Jones said, wash your dirty mouth. Yeah, big brother. Okay. Well, that's the show for tonight. Yeah. So that's it. Sorry, short show. I hope you have fun Saturday. Be safe. I know we country boys. We like to go out and have a drink and have a good old time and watch Alabama football, but just be safe doing it. Don't do nothing stupid. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the first week of college football. Actually, it's the second week, but first week of Alabama football. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, win or lose, Auburn fans. Why did we play this year? Y'all have a good night.